was the coldest night of the month, February 23rd, 1991. Hundreds of Indian Army personnel raided the villages of Kunan and Poshpora under the pretext of cordon and search operations. Witness accounts testify to them gang raping and beating almost 100 girls and women. Some were pregnant. The youngest girl was 13 years old. The oldest woman was 80. 30 years later, we wanted to revisit the story and speak to some of the survivors. But because of the pandemic, lockdowns and restricted access, we cannot reach the victims. What we'll do instead is read out the harrowing testimonies of the victims.
I begged the soldier, "Leave us for the sake of God. We have done nothing." I even bowed my forehead onto his shoes. He dragged me to the kitchen. My mother was already there. I screamed with all my energy, "Mother, please save me." But how could she? After that, my clothes were torn, and with that, my whole life too.
It was snowing heavily. People were sleeping in their homes. The army came and entered every home. The men were taken out and interrogated all night in the biting cold near the village bus stand. They locked the rooms and raped our mothers and sisters.
They came in at around 11 at night. I ran to the second floor. They followed me. I had my mother and sister along, but they fled. I was caught by 4 army men who tore my clothes. Then I don't know what happened after that.
The soldiers were drunk and continued to consume liquor as they took turns raping.
3 army men got hold of me and 8 to 10 army men raped me in turns. They had huge battery torches with them and used them to see my naked body while making lewd remarks.
In the morning, the soldiers slung a gun across my shoulders. They took pictures of me while I was paraded before the villagers.
They let us go home after the crackdown, in the morning at about 9 a.m. That's when we realized what had happened, what they had done in every house.
And justice still hasn't been served. Indian authorities and the army have denied the entire incident, calling it a massive hoax orchestrated by militant groups and their sympathizers. For them, the rapes never took place. Moving from local courts to the country's top courts, the victim struggles have been unending. The Armed Forces Special Powers Act allows the entire Indian Army greater impunity, with less accountability in conflict zones like Kashmir. Under this law, Indian soldiers can't be tried in civilian courts. Many of the survivors who were witness to this paralyzing pain have died. And with them, their stories are dying too.